New calculations suggest that vast valley networks that spider across the southern highlands of Mars may have been carved by a surprisingly small volume of water. The study, published in the November issue of Planetary and Space Science, finds that the minimum water volume required to carve the valleys could have flowed through in as little as a few hundred to 10,000 years. The findings are consistent with the idea that early Mars may have been cold and icy, with water flowing sporadically on the surface in response to short-term climate changes, say the Brown University researchers who led the study. The Martian Valley networks were first discovered during the Mariner 9 mission in the 1970s. The branching channels, typically up to 4 kilometers wide, often stretch for thousands of kilometers across the southern highlands, some of the most ancient surfaces on the Red Planet. The waters that carved the valleys are thought to have stopped running as much as 4 billion years ago. That makes figuring out just how much water flowed through the valleys a very difficult calculation to do, said Elliot Rosenberg, an undergraduate student at Brown who led the research. For starters, Rosenberg needed to figure out exactly how much sediment had been excavated from the valleys. He used data from the Mars Orbiter Laser Altimeter, MOLA, to get an average cross-sectional area for the valleys. He multiplied that by previous measurements of the length of the valleys to get a sediment volume. The harder part, however, was figuring out how much water it would take to move that volume of sediment. One way of doing that requires estimating the ratio of sediment and water that traveled through the valleys per unit of time. Since the rivers are long gone, previous researchers could only make guesses at the ratio. Rosenberg wanted to find something a bit more concrete.